Let's go back to details, and under map notes, let's click on the three dots and zoom to again so that we make sure that we see both Tusk and your school. And just to make sure, let's just save that again. And now we're going to click this share link, check everyone, then we'll click on create a web app. And we want to look for the elevation profile app and click on that, and then click on create app. All the stuff we can keep the same except for the description of it up here. That's now going to be called elevation change. And click on done. Once we get here, simply need to click the save button and then click on the view button. And we're going to open up the profile part, so click on that little mountain button. And here's our tool that we're going to be using to see the profile of the elevation change. Now we're going to click on the pencil tool, which is going to let us draw a line. And we can just hide this thingy for right now, so we'll get rid of that. And that's going to let us click, actually let's start on from your school. So click first on your school, and then draw a straight line over to Tusk and double click to stop that. And now we get to see how the elevation changes from your school to Tusk. And it looks a lot different than you might think Toronto might look like. And this is a cross section where that line is of our elevation. And you have a number of things to fill out for movie number 4. The first is this elevation at your school. So that's going to be right at the very beginning here at 0 kilometers. And we can see that we get 175.6 meters high. For the Tusk elevation, that's at the very end. The other thing we want to find out is the highest elevation, and by looking at our graph here, that is definitely where the school is in this case. So we would write the same number as the school, 175.6. The lowest elevation in this case looks like it's over here. So 108.0 meters looks like the lowest. Oh, 100, look, there's the lowest. 107.6 is the lowest. Also calculate the difference between the high and the low, so a little bit of math. And the feature found at the highest point and the lowest point. Well, we know what the highest point feature is. That's going to be the school, but it could be something else. So let's imagine, for instance, that this is the highest point. And what I'm going to do is just very carefully move my mouse straight up from where I had it on the graph so that our little dot here doesn't move. Then I'm going to just click and drag the map so that the dot is kind of in the middle, and then I'm going to zoom in a bunch of times so that we can hopefully see what might be at this highest point, although we're pretending it's the highest. And if you see something like this, this is obviously a residential house, so we can just say that. Anyway, so that's what we would do for the highest. For the lowest, let's go find our 107.6. And again, I'm just going to very carefully move my mouse up. We can zoom out a couple of times to make it easier. There it is. Put the dot in the middle. Zoom in. And we can assume that we're not exactly at the right spot because the water would be the lowest as opposed to the land there. And this piece of water happens to be Taylor Creek, so we would write down Taylor Creek. Now, we're also meant to describe the profile at the low point, and the profile is how does the line look around here? So in this case, we could describe it as a steep drop off and then a kind of flat bottom, more or less. And the lowest point on your profile may be completely different. And so if it was something like this, you could say it's a gentle slope down to the lowest point or something like that.